We're going to go over some isolated muscle engagements for the core and for the glutes. We want to make sure that we can actually engage them in isolation, and these are going to help you do that. The first exercise, you're going to come to 90-degree angles in the knees, and you're going to touch your glute muscles with your fingertips. This is going to get your brain to actually connect with the glutes so that we're actually getting that neural connection. Most of us can't actually engage all of our glute muscles. So from here, you're actually going to engage the glutes, lifting the hips off the table so you can actually see what's happening here. Now that I want you to be squeezing from all the glute muscles from the sides and holding there. You want to make sure that you have a slight engagement of the core, which is actually going to create a little bit more length in the body. You can see how my chin lifts up a little bit with this. Now you can actually go through and relax and then contract and engage. You can even contract and hold. What we want to avoid is trying to go into like a bridge pose in yoga where we're actually locking the pelvis out, something more like this. That's going to be less glute and that's going to be a lot harder on the SI joints and the low back. Moving into the core, we want to make sure that we're actually engaging and pulling the core in without overdoing the hip flexors. Most core, like in a yoga class, coming here or holding this, 90% core, you actually, or 90% hip flexors, you actually feel that tightening through here, only like 10% core. So I actually like to come into what we call a sphinx pose. I call these sphinx crunches. And what I'm going to be doing is pulling my elbows in towards my hips, creating a slight lift of the hip bones right here off of the table or off the floor. Now you'll notice that there's a slight engagement of the hamstrings. My heels or my toes lift off the table ever so slightly. When the hamstrings are turned on, the hip flexors are turned off. And so I'm really pulling inwards. Over time, if I need a little bit more, I can actually move the elbows further out, which is going to give me a longer distance to engage from. And you should really be feeling this through that lower abdominal area, a really deep engagement. Same thing with this. You can actually hold it, for up to 60 seconds. You can also do slight pulses where you contract and hold, and then relax and contract and hold, doing actual repetitions of them. But these are going to get both of those muscles really strong.